Hello friends. In this video I'll be briefly introducing you to your TL and LMA notebooks and going over how you're going to be uploading your submissions for the year into each section. So let's get started. First and foremost, I'm going to use the web app version, which is what you're going to be the most familiar with, but I'll also briefly discuss the desktop app, which looks something like this. I am using Microsoft Edge as my browser for this example, but this will work just fine on Chrome, Brave, or whatever else you might have. The only exception that might be a little different is Safari, only because iOS interface works a little different than either Windows or Android, but for the most part, submitting and inserting and navigating will work much the same. So, here I have my own TL notebook which has been set up. Now, whether you're an LMA or a TL, you're going to have a notebook that has several sections. So let's say we have the deadline for the SMART goals coming up, and I need to upload those from this year. So first thing I'm going to do is click on SMART goals. Now I see there's already a page that's been created called Untitled. So let me change that right now by adding 2021 SMART goals. It really could be any title, and really this is more to be helpful to you so you know where your files are and what they're called. So whatever naming convention works for you, works for us, as long as we know which section we're looking at. The next thing to notice is that up here we have table, file, and picture options that have been grayed out. In order to activate those, we click on the body of the paragraph, and now they are active. Next important thing is, when I click on file, I'm presented with two options: insert file attachment and insert file printout. Let's go over insert file attachment first. When I click on that, we are given a window that says choose your file. So I'm going to do just that. I'm going to find where I put my SMART goals and place them into my notebook. You'll notice that you have an icon that starts to show up, and eventually it pops up a different icon for what you've uploaded. In this case, in order to see my SMART goals, the person would have to double click on it and download the file. Let's go over what happens then when I use insert file printout. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this, start over again, file, insert file printout. You'll notice that now the prompt says select a Word or PDF document. It is very specific, so try to keep that in mind when you're saving your SMART goals or other submissions to different formats. I'm going to choose a PDF version this time and insert. You'll notice that we have a much bigger icon than what we had in the first example. That's because you're going to have an actual printout that you can just take a look at once you click on your SMART goals or whatever section you've uploaded, on top of also having a downloadable icon. So from here, if this is the document you're looking for, you can tell right off the bat. And if you need to store a local copy, you can always double click on this like before and download it to your drive. So just keep in mind that those are your limitations, that it would be a Word or PDF document, though sometimes it has come across that I've seen an Excel sheet or something show up in a notebook, and that works just fine as long as it has the information we're requesting. That pretty much covers it for uploading either as a file attachment or a file printout. The next thing I wanted to go over was what happens when we use the desktop app. Well, if you take a look, everything we did on the browser version has been mirrored here on the desktop app, which is exactly what we wanted to do. But just to cover it one more time, I'm going to delete that and that. And just like before, if I was to click here, I do have insert table file, but that's going to insert a file right on the title. So let's make sure it's actually set to the body of the page. I once again choose file, presented with a different kind of prompt, which now I need to get to my desktop, SMART goals, and everything works much the same except your options are presented slightly different. You do have the option to upload to OneDrive and then insert a link, which I have seen some TLs do. This really gives us just another option as a link that we can download from instead of either icon or an attachment. Whatever works for you, again, works for us. We're very flexible in this respect. And that's about it. That covers how you would upload your submissions to your notebooks. In addition, feel free to use this notebook either collaboratively, because you are able to share these pages with other members in the district. This can be other teacher librarians, or this can be other LMAs, or even the ed media staff if you're trying to just send us something that you thought was great or something that you wanted to work on together in a project. You may also save other documents. Say these sections are great, but you have another project you're working on. Well, I'm going to do this and say, hey, I have library project. And it's something I've been working on with a bunch of people, or it's just something in the library I'm trying to keep track of for myself. So I'm going to say this was the interlibrary project, and save that here, whatever that project might have been, and keep some notes. But I can always make another page that might have been a separate project. Maybe this was a gardening project, or I'm also part of the math club, and I want to keep my math club notes or things that the kids have submitted in one place. I can go ahead and do that. Remember, this is your notebook. Even though it has documents we need and we will request from you throughout the year, this is a tool for you to use to make your life easy and to keep you organized. Well, I hope this has helped, and as always, feel free to reach out to EdMedia support staff for any and all questions you might have with respect to your duties. Take it easy.